Good morning, and with it being Veterans Day, I just do want to say a quick thank you to those that have served, those that continue to serve, give us the freedoms that we have. So appreciate all the veterans. And then I think the next thing, just with injuries, I think Kane maybe alluded to it, but with Q's injury, it's certainly determined now that he'll be out for the remainder of the year. Unfortunately, just a special person in every way. You hate to see a guy who pours so much into it, go through what he's going through. And he just, the one thing when I think about Q, it's not just what he does on the field, but pre-practice, he is mentoring, doing things for other guys. And it's just he cares so much about the team. He cares so much about just this place, and that's just something that sticks out on top of what you see on game days. And so, just a great person. He's poured a lot into this place. And then I think recapping LSU, just proud of the way the guys prepared, proud of the way that they started. The confidence that they showed early on led to the production, led to us playing our most complete game, offense, defense, special teams, always areas that we can continue to improve. Probably the biggest thing that I saw is just our kickoff team, which has been rock solid on top of it all season long, one of the best in the country. I put them up against anyone, just having some times where we lapsed there, and a couple new looks that we needed to adjust better and quickly to. So just that was one area where we need to be better. But moving forward to Mercer, extremely high quality football team, and us handling success coming off of a game or games that we've had here. It's important for us to do the right things as far as knowing no points carry over from last week. Nothing as far as our stops carry over. We've got a team that's coming in 9-1, very confident team, pretty much lead their league in every, or not every, but most statistical categories on both sides of the ball. And so just, want to make sure we continue to do what we've been doing to take the steps in moving forward as a football program.
Thanks, Coach. We'll start with Charlie here on the right.
Yeah, Coach, Kane kind of alluded to it, but Keanu Coote wasn't with you guys last week, and he kind of said he wouldn't be here this week. Do you have an update just where his status stands?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he wasn't with us, and he's suspended right now, and so not gonna get into length or anything like that, but he won't be with us this weekend.
Nick, on the right.
Yeah, Kalen, what types of, pre-snap adjustments did you guys make from previous road games for this game, specifically with making sure that clean snap, timing was right, making sure noise didn't affect things?
We did a little bit with just the procedure, a little bit of adjustment on just communication there. But it's stuff that it's just, we had done it that way. We've done it both ways, different places I've been. Feel good about both procedures. We just did adjust and tweak it just a small amount. I think probably as much as anything, it's the number of reps we got, and just this being the second time really after the Tennessee game, and then also having a bye week and just really honing in on it and be dialed, and helps when you make plays too, and there was less plays where we had as much noise, and so the percentages were more in our favor as far as just the execution piece. But our guys just did a better job handling it from start to finish.
Go to far left to Chase.
So if this comparison is a reach, then feel free to shoot it down. But 2 years ago, your first season at Washington, you won a huge game against Oregon. It was a November road game, just like LSU. You had 2 losses at the time, just like LSU. Mm-hmm. You win that game, and you hit the streak where you don't lose again until the CFP this past January. Was that Oregon game a catalyst for the culture you were trying to build there, and can this LSU win be similar that way?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so our experiences that we have individually, right, we always remember them and the learning moments that you go through. For our team, they weren't through that. But for me, just, you do take in those times, whether it's that season or 10 years ago. There's just things you go through that were part of the process then. that you try to remember and try to figure out what worked and what didn't, to keep the team moving in the right direction. And honestly, it's really simple. You got momentum to build off of. You make sure you take advantage of it, and then you also continue to just keep the pedal down, keep focused on what you believe in. And we've been doing that, and we were doing that then that year, and we're doing that now. Just stay in the course, and just because all of a sudden, you kind of feel like you get over a hump doesn't mean, you can just let off, because it's about the next play. The next one's the most important one, and that's good. That's been our focus really since day one. It's just that now the execution, the number of reps, all of those things are helping us execute better. And so, questions probably, Nick was just up here. How were we able to, be more productive? Well, our execution is better. We weren't behind the chains, and so the playbook's more available to you. It's a lot easier to call plays, and so just all those things, those experiences that you're referring to, yeah, I'm certainly aware of those, and it feels a lot like that. But it doesn't guarantee, right? It doesn't guarantee us anything. We got to keep moving forward, build on the momentum that we have right now at this point in the year.
Staying on the left side, let's go to Tony.
What development have you seen from the backup quarterbacks in your unit, Ty and Dylan and Austin, this season working behind Jalen?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, because you don't see them. We get to see them, and this is what I'll tell you: that the work that they are putting in, there's guys throwing on, I guess yesterday would have been Sunday, right? Because I can envision walking outside for a second and seeing, one of the guys out there throwing at 9 a.m. in the morning, doing his thing, and others just really paying attention in the meetings and coming up and meeting individually with Mitch Dowling, with our offensive staff, Coach Sheridan, myself, just a lot of opportunities that they're all taking advantage of to help their growth. And then they get on the football field. You see familiarity with the offense, especially those, Austin had a little bit more familiarity, but then you also see growth in fundamental things. Guys that are helping out with scout team. I know last week I talked about Austin being heavily involved in the scout team. Just you see the throws, the accuracy of the throws. You just taking advantage of every rep, and these guys are doing that. And this season isn't just something that's about Jalen and like, oh, I hope I get my time. They're pressing forward and using the resources we have, and then also putting forth the effort to improve any time that they can.
Go to the middle of the room to Emily Grace.
Coach, you mentioned in the open that it's important how success is handled. At this point in the season, what is your standard for how that success is handled with your players, but also your staff?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be the same no matter what time of the year. It's all about the next play, the next play, and then obviously for us now, the next game. We talked about handling success before. We've won games earlier in the season and talked about handling success, and I still felt like the effort and everything poured into the right things was happening then too. But I also think that now we've been tested, we've been through adversity. We're a little more, we've been through the battles together, and I think we understand better who we are, but we also understand better, what we can do. And we're honing in on what our strengths are. We've continued to really focus on the weaknesses and areas that people maybe perceive as ways to get after us on both sides of the ball. And so, I think that's the whole key, is handling success is one thing, but our just continual development and growth and improvement, that's a big deal for us right now. And that's what's happened over the last 3 or 4 weeks, is that's finally coming to fruition. You can see it in practice, and unfortunately there's been times where you don't see it in a game. Now you saw it in a game in a lot of different ways.
Back right, Ryan.
Coach, some of the reporters here covered Coach Saban in the past, and the players had Coach Saban as their coach. How do you handle a success like that? The social media, everyone's saying Alabama's back after a must-win game, and kind of telling them to stay the course, kind of like what Emily Grace was saying.
Yeah, I think we've I don't want to say we learned a lesson, but we understand that doesn't matter, right? And we understand that it's all about building on what we did do last week, because it was significant, just like we would learn from, the areas that we're falling short on a game we've lost. But it's all about just staying with the process, staying with the preparation. I want the guys to keep an edge, because I think there is a little bit of an edge, a little bit of a, I don't want to say chip on their shoulder. I think edge is the better word to use that we have. A little bit of, backs to the wall, kind of fighting for your life at times, that I think exists. And I think every guy has a little different way of where they're driven to go out there and put forth the best effort in practice, bring the best energy that they have. What I've really challenged the guys with is to have more and more leaders stepping up. I think I've said that in here a few weeks back, is that, our young guys aren't young guys anymore. Our transfers, they're not transfers anymore. We are a full team, and we need every guy, because there's starters that now, we were just referred to Q. There's starters that aren't with us, aren't able to be on the football field due to injury. More and more guys got to step up, yes, on Saturdays, but more and more just need to step up as leaders. And the more leaders we can have that, first of all, take care of their business and bring then others that can bring the rest of the team with them. There's a lot of influence on our football team in a good way, and you can see it and feel it on the practice field, and that's where it all starts.
Go to Kennington in the front row here.
Kind of on that note, how did Devontae Smith come out of Saturday, and what did you see from Deshaun Jones filling in to his place?
Yeah, no, good question. With Deshaun, he's been just right there, ready to go. We've moved him around a little bit with positions, just because he's a very versatile player, and he's got game experience, with his past, and coming in, just kind of learning things and being ready to go. I'm really proud of him for that. So I'm excited about his growth that he's had, and the opportunities he's taken advantage of, like he did on Saturday. With Devontae, that would be something I think just throughout the week we'll continue to manage and kind of see where he's at. I haven't heard the update today, but I think he'll be fine as the week continues on.
Opposite side here. Let's go to Colin.
Hey, Kalen, kind of going off of a couple questions, but I mean, LSU isn't traditionally a game where you get to see kind of, younger players, second string. The game had been decided at that point, but to have guys like Richard Young or Ty, or guys that usually may not get to experience, Tiger Stadium until they have to, until the job is theirs. What was it like to, I guess, see those guys in those roles, those younger guys, both on offense and defense, kind of be able to go up to that?
Yeah, you're happy for them because they work extremely hard. Those guys, as we said, quarterbacks are working extra, putting extra time in. Getting our running backs, you alluded to with Rich, getting out there on the football field. All these guys that work extremely hard, getting a chance to go out there, be rewarded. That's what it's all about. And we're a team, and it's not just the 11 guys that are out there starting on each side of the ball. So I'm happy for them, and glad that we executed well enough to where we were in that spot to where those guys get a chance to go out and perform. And when they get their moment, they're taking advantage of it. They've done it a number of times throughout the year.
Okay, we got time for a couple more questions, starting with Jack here.
Hey, Kalen, you talk about leadership. Obviously, Tyler Booker's gotten a lot of praise in that regard. How big has he been? And when you think back to when you first arrived, how big was he at that time, just to have some stabilization with the players as you kind of got settled in?
Yeah, there's been a number of leaders on our team that have really, since day one, been critical for us. And the questions about Book, I can't give him enough praise, and I can say this because I know he handles it, and he can handle it well, and it's not something that goes to his head. He is so passionate about this place. He's so passionate about being the best he can be. He's got a resiliency, I think, and just, that has helped us as a team also have that, level of response to adversity that's been positive. He just keeps pushing. He's got respect amongst his teammates at the highest level. From a leadership standpoint, he's vocal, but obviously leads by example all at the same time. And the combination, he might be one of the best leaders I've ever been around. And so I know that's saying a lot because I've been around a lot of really good ones. And, you know, when you put those guys in that category, he's really special. And it's because he takes care of his business, you know, 100% of the time. And he's pushing others to make sure that they're their best too. And I think that's what great leaders do, is they bring the best out of everyone else around them.
All right, we'll finish up here on the back right.
You've now had a blowout and a shutout over ranked opponents. What does that mean in terms of making a statement?
Yeah, I like the progress we've had, you know, and every week's a new challenge in different ways. Last week, just, you know, with the passing game and kind of the way that we felt we knew they would attack us, rising to the challenge, was big. And the shutout the week before happened as a combination of stopping both the run and the pass, different quarterbacks in and out. But that's progress. Like, there's steps forward. There's confidence that continues to build, a trust that happens between the front and the back halves. I really like the demeanor that they bring, and it all starts with what their demeanor is going to be tomorrow morning, Tuesday, when we step on the football field. That's really the demeanor that you want and that we've had, that needs to continue for us to do the same thing this Saturday that we did last Saturday. And so, again, when that mindset's where it needs to be and the work's done each and every day, that trust, that belief, it just continues to build. And you can see that with our defense.
All right, thank you, Phil.
Thank you. Roll Tide.